Good morning. Happy Sunday, everyone, and happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. I am Jenny Hensley, co-owner and effectiveness coach with Dynamics, and we come to you with these pep talks every Sunday to help you get your week started off on the best foot forward, and also to share some of the things that we do in our Dynamics work with our coaching and helping you to have good meetings. Our goal is to help you reclaim your time so you can reclaim your life and absolutely love your work again. I've got Luna here snuggling in, hopefully to settle down. So today we're going to be talking about happiness and finding your happy place. I really want to first talk about the fact that I don't mean finding a place, like going to the beach is my happy place, but I can't always go to the beach. So I'm really talking to you about finding your happy place wherever you are at any time. So we're going to talk about that today. One of the best books I've ever read on it, and she's got several now, and they all are just all of the ones I've read are amazing. She has a new one out that I haven't read yet. Gretchen Rubin, The Happiness Project. So this quote really hit me. People can boost to the top of their happiness range or push themselves down to the bottom of their happiness range by their actions. So this struck me as, oh my gosh, happiness is a choice. It's up to me whether I'm happy. So in past videos, you've probably heard me talk about the fact that in my commandments, which is one of the activities that I would highly recommend that's in her, I believe it's in her second book, Better Than Before, is writing your own commandments. So who do you want to be? What do you want your life to be? And one of my first commandments is happiness is a choice and I choose happiness. So I wanted to share with you today some of the things that I do to make myself happy, and also some of the things that research says. So the first one is gratitude. And it doesn't matter, all of the people that I am obsessed with and reading, Rachel Hollis, Mel Robbins, all talk about being grateful and how research shows that showing gratitude on a daily basis and getting yourself in a mind of being grateful for what you do have is a key to happiness. And talked to many times about my journals, have a whole post about it, but the Rachel Hollis journal and the 5-minute journal, which I both do, both begin with gratitude. 5 things you're grateful for, or 3 things you're grateful for, depending on which one. So my suggestion is to start your day with gratitude, but all of these suggestions are going to be different for you depending on what your day looks like. And I'm a morning person, and some of you may not be morning people. So I start my day with the journals and doing gratitude. But I also find that if I'm having trouble falling asleep, and my mind starts spinning, I start going through all the things I'm grateful for and try to think of make kind of a game out of it and think of as many things as I can. The second one is your thoughts, and you're completely in control of your thoughts, but they sometimes run away from us. So a tool I use here is affirmations. I mentioned the Gretchen Rubin commandments. Again, back to Rachel Hollis. If you follow her on Instagram, she often shares that she writes affirmations on her bathroom mirror with an erasable marker so that she can change it. Whatever you need to do, put up a Post-it on your computer, but get some positive affirmations in your mind that you can immediately your go-to. And when I was thinking about talking to you guys, this is pretty personal, but one of the best examples I could come up with was I was in a situation where I worked for my absolute mentor, still my mentor today, greatest boss I ever had, and he retired, and then I started working for the next boss. And for the first time in my life, I didn't immediately connect, and I think it was because I was still mourning the fact that my mentor had retired, but I didn't really connect, and it felt like I started spinning down this road of I couldn't do anything right, and that he didn't value my work, and so just on and on and on and on. So I spent probably months thinking this, and like the thoughts just got worse and worse and worse, and my situation got worse and worse and worse. So I decided to try the affirmation: I add value and am appreciated at work. And so every time that I would have one of these negative thoughts, I would think, I add value and am appreciated at work. And after some time, it was even a couple weeks, things started to change. And don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this is magical, although I do believe in magical things. But I don't believe it was magical. I think it was because when I was thinking all those negative things, I was acting in negative ways probably. I mean, I'm sure that my facial expressions, everything was just negative. And when I started thinking in this more positive way, I think my behavior changed. And then that changed and transformed the entire relationship. So that's a great example to me about affirmations. So I think that you should come up with what are your go-to positive thoughts, and so that you can catch yourself, because the key to happiness is to have happy thoughts. And what are those things that are going to make you happy? Now, I want to also note, because I used that example, I had another situation which I did an entire video on, which is the #1 most viewed video that I've done, which is what to do if you hate your job. That was not this situation. Totally different situation. There was no amount of positive affirmations in that situation that could have gotten me out of it. So, I mean, I think you have to think about what situation you're talking about. And again, I'm just going to keep saying it. It's all personal. It's very personal to you. So, so if you're in that situation, I would highly recommend watching the What to Do If You Hate Your Job video. But today we're talking about happiness. And so I'm talking about what are the things in your life that you can shift. And I did in that situation try. It just wasn't going to be. So I had to do some other things, which for me were actions. So the next step is actions. What can you do that will bring you joy? Little things. What little things can you infuse in your everyday life that will bring you joy? So these are really personal and pretty geeky and sometimes silly. So yours are probably going to be completely different. So the first one I came up with is puppy snuggles. Absolutely love these guys, Harry, Luna, and Hope. And every single morning, at least 15 minutes of puppy snuggles. So we're playing, they're snuggling, they're licking my face, they're wrestling around, they make me laugh. So I start every single day laughing. And I just think that makes a huge difference. I've talked about my morning routine, and I started getting really serious about that about a year ago. And I did a whole video about my morning routine, and I would suggest, taking a look at it. There's other people who have shared their morning routines, but having something that works for you. So I get up, I do the same thing every morning. I don't look at technology. I journal. I work out, and that gets me started on the right foot. So that gets me started in a positive frame of mind, so that hopefully the day continues like that. Here's one of the silly ones. So in the winter, I absolutely hate the cold, and typically go south as much as possible, but wasn't able to this year, so as much as I normally do. So I was thinking, like, I really had to come up with, because I saw myself getting a little depressed about when it was cold and when it was dreary, and what could I do in the day just to give me something to look forward to and to make me happy. So either at the end of my work day or at the end of the day before I went to bed, I would turn on Harry Potter instrumental music, which just in general makes me happy, and then I would read fiction literature. So whatever made me happy. So I would just sit and read read a book and have the dogs all snuggled, be under a blankie, have a hot cup of tea or a glass of wine, and have the music playing in the background. And it just made me really happy. I mean, that little thing, that little routine was something that I looked forward to. Now that it's beautiful outside and we get to go outside, I do the similar thing, but will be in my porch swing instead. And going outside is another thing. So I think another thing that you can do is music and dancing for me, but music for sure. I have several playlists on Spotify that are specifically designed to make me get me out of a funk or get me out of a weird mood. So they may have Disney songs, yes, Elaine, that I sing and dance around. They may have Bruno Mars always gets me up and going and in a good mood. So I think that that's really, really, that's a great mood booster. I have music playing all the time when I'm working at home. Well, I have music playing all the time when I'm at home. So, and making sure that that's upbeat and positive. Sometimes certain lists don't work for me and I switch them. This one is the most important, absolute most important. You have to surround yourself with amazing people. It's been said over and over again that you become the 5 people you spend the most time with. I don't know who it was originally attributed to, but you become more and more like those people. So if you are around people who are negative and toxic, you will be more negative. If you are around people who love life and find joy in everything, then you will find that too. So make sure that the 5 people that you're spending the most time with are the right ones. So I was thinking on a scale, like how happy would I say I am? I would say that I'm 90% of the time I'm pretty happy. And those go through to super hyper manic happy to just generally being happy. And I thought about, well, first of all, there are days where I'm not happy. So what do? It's okay. Everybody can't be happy 100% of the time. And sometimes I'm not feeling great or whatever, and you just end up laying on the couch. And the thing is to know when to pull yourself out of that. You can, if you need rest or you're not feeling well, let yourself have that, but then use some of the techniques that I talked about to pull yourself out of it. But I thought about how you might react, because in coaching and working with people, that when you talk about this, sometimes people get really angry because they say, well, yeah, sure, you can be happy because, and fill in the blank, but I can't be happy because fill in the blank of your excuses. And I have health issues. I have an autoimmune disease. I got divorced after being married for 19 years. I've been through some stuff. I've been through the same stuff that we all go through. So we all go through things. And some people's things are much worse than other people's. But within that, you have to figure out a way to find happiness. What are the little things that you can do to find the joy and not people? I mean, I think that if you would have asked me 15, 20 years ago, I could have gone down this road of like knowing that I had an autoimmune disease, and I even found myself doing it, starting to embrace it. Like, this is my identity, this is who I am, and talking about it all the time. But I decided to flip it, and I do everything that I can. I work on it a lot, everything that I possibly can to deal with that, but I don't make it who I am. And I think that that is really, really important in terms of finding your happy place. So even though you're going through things, we all go through these horrible, horrible life things, losing people that we love, and it's just giving yourself the permission to mourn and to know that you don't feel good, and to know that sometimes, and that's not fair, or it's just not, doesn't feel good. But how can you still be happy? Or do you want to be happy? And making that choice. Because in the end, it's those thoughts and actions, and then being grateful for the things that you do have, that can really turn it around for you. So I hope that this was helpful for you. I will share, when I share the notes for this video, I have all of the resources, because I've mentioned like 27. So I'll share that with links to all of those things. Highly recommend Gretchen Rubin's books, or whatever book speaks to you, or podcast, or audiobook. I just really encourage you to have the life that you want. And first of all, start by defining the life you want. For me, that was saying happiness is a choice. I believe that, and I'm going to choose happiness. So again, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Please share your comments and questions. As always, it is super helpful if you like and share our videos, and if you follow, you can see all the past videos that I mentioned, either on our Facebook, Dynamics LLC, or, and I'll put the links for that too, or on our YouTube channel, the Instructional Leadership channel. Next week, I'm going to start midweek. We're going to do a spring clean out challenge, getting organized easily. And we're going to start the challenge, hopefully midweek is my plan. And that will be what our Sunday Pep Talk is about next week. So have an absolutely fantastic day. And if you're lucky enough to have this day off, please, please enjoy it and do not work. Please do something that makes you happy. Have a great day, guys.